Tiz, trying to see if he can have himself another go. A bit of a rematch versus Cobre. Got himself a big bolt. Were you gonna double bolt him? Did you just meld that? Oh, the meld. Oh, that's sexy. You gotta love the melds though. You gotta love the proper meld, dude. Those are so good. Got himself a kidney shot onto Cobre, trying to see if he can maybe build up a bit of damage with yet another cheap shot. Got us to be extended defenses out of him. Dark back to the wall. Hey, that's huge. If just gonna get himself another reset, does get himself a reset. Vanishes are available. He don't want to have blades, but as long as he has himself just a bit of a go and finds a way to deal with a succubus, he'll be fine. This is his opportunity, man. This is his chance. Cobre does get hit with a cheap shot. I think it's super the art, however, which is unfortunate. Ruination is with a fear to follow. Ruination didn't hit nearly as hard as a bolt, though, for some reason. Big bolt one, big bolt two. I think it's over. Oh, not for you, but it's going to be a close shot for Tiz. Got himself out of the way. Out of that situation. I was almost gonna rhyme. I feel like I ended up rhyming a couple of things there. I didn't mean to, and I was about to rhyme someone with name Tiz, but the only word I could come up with is res, and then like the part of my brain that just caused me to be like, oh, that's cringe, just activated like a spidey sense. I was like, I ain't gonna say it. I just ain't gonna say it. Succubus, no, we almost had a cheap shot on it. That is unfortunate. That is so close. Mortal Coil, ooh, might be in a bit of a weird spot. Oh, what is that line of sight? That was so good. Dude, you gotta love it. Mortal Coil started to walk out, just like, meow. Immediate right hand turn. A sharp right turn right behind the tiger statue. Cobre literally had an incinerate queued up. I couldn't do it. You gotta love those. Tiz does get himself a bit of a reset though. As the succubus is kind of trying to mosey over, trying to land a CC, but it's not quite able to. Maybe he could go for a kick. Oh, it does land it. Does give it an opportunity for him. Like, wait, bolt might be end. Ho, 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 ho. You gotta, as a warlock, you gotta love these bolts. As anybody else, you ain't happy with those bolts. My goodness. Rest in hell, he's back. Oh. He's not next though. It looks like Chicken Stick is gonna be next. I love the name Chicken Stick. This guy, dude. This guy right here. I love this man, dude. Love this guy. I was switching the wrong body completely. Stun onto Cobre. Does drop down Infernal. Bolt, fast bolt. Oh, does get the spear. Mortal Coil. Does he have another bolt to follow? Shadow Fury instead. Technically a big burst out for Chicken though. Guy having to go for big defenses. Charge onto Cobre. Does he have any healing whatsoever? Giving us a barely alive though. Not really recovering that much health, but at least that rage does help dampen some of the damage he's taking. A couple of bloodthirsts from these pets will also be a little bit helpful. The fact that he has Avatar as well as Reckless is rolling, that was going to be the most amount of damage he's ever got. And he's just not going to be seeing that big burst damage for quite a while now with a succubus catching him. Oh, that is so unfortunate. Bolt right after. Oh, that is a lot of damage. Warriors, man. Not having it easy right now. It does go for a chakra for a second. Cobre trying to see if he can end him. Just needs a couple of cast Soulfire. Oh, downtown. Does he get a shot of burns? Trying to see if he can end it, but Chicken Stick just able to barely escape it. As long as there's no bolt, I think. Oh. As long as there's no bolt, normally you just survive it, but that Bonzafell was dirty. Actually, filthy. Filthy. Rest in hell. Trying to see if he can shake up the meta here a little bit by pressing meta and then shake up the brains of Cobre here. Into one bolt while wall is up. Sigil of Fear is out. The Pit Lord just doing quite a decent bit of damage. At least it was a blur available though. Try to see if he can get himself a bit of damage versus Cobre. Does go for a big leap with a haunt from downtown. Try to see if he keep the pressure rolling in. Cobre might just melt. Oh! Rest and Hell picked up quite a lot of damage there at the end. What was that? My God. Messy up next. Stun on to Rest in Hell. Do you have any damage to follow up with Messy? Might just mess you up. What's up, Ty? No NA on Saturdays anymore? We tried a couple of NA games, man, and NA was a little bit harder to put together, so yeah. Once NA is back up and playing well regularly, man, Rest in Hell taking them out. Well done. Once NA is a little bit more active and a little bit more regular, I think we'll go back to NA, but EU so far has been really popping, so I've been enjoying it. You know what I mean? If EU's constantly ready to play every single Saturday and Friday and Saturday every week, and NA is just not really ready for it, I'm just going to play some EU then. You know what I mean? We'll host an extra day on EU. I do want to eventually get back to an A. I just need to know, like, we'll actually have like proper 5-man groups. But I mean, EU, they're voracious for duels, man. They love it. They love it. We got put two teams together so fast, it's not even funny. Where on an A, it would be like 30 minutes of just putting groups together. Once you get them going, they're fun. But yeah, that's gonna go up in the air. I didn't even realize you have to fly by. Does get out of max. No, you're not. You're still hitting. You're still shooting. I didn't realize you would still have that huge range. What is that range? 100 yards? More than that? Unlimited? That is crazy. Breston Hell tried to see if he can get himself an angle versus Envy. Envy is going to get a second wind catching up. So unless you're careful, does get himself the blade. The glaive thrown in. Try to see if he can get himself big hits. Blade into the opener. Stun for stun. Bit of a trade. Both of them kind of low. Envy got himself a little bit of Zerkers. There's going to be arrested health. Not a lot of health available either. Blade dance. Oh! Does take and stealing the man's soul. Is just ready, immediately charging at Jay. Got himself glaive and everything. I think he knows he has to play super aggressive here. Dampening is not going to help his situation at all. Jay trying to see if he can get a full shatter bonus on the guy. Drop in the comments, storm, meteor, everything, unless you got a meld. Oh, that's so little health. Oh. I like how Metamorphosis form does not have a death animation. You just gotta immediately forever like It's just so wacky. But it did so good. Rested Hell played really well. That's the best you could play, I think. I don't know how much better you could really play that. Absolutely dominated. But Demon Hunter just doesn't have the longevity as some of the other classes do, you know what I mean? Now they have a strong DH and a DK. True, Cobra, true. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. The two classes that are not easy for a Warlock. Unfortunately. Jay just tried to see if he can keep that range versus Leo. He knows as soon as the grips come out, there's going to be a bit of trouble. Leo trying to make sure he doesn't really use grips immediately. Doesn't have having to go for grip either way. It's going to be full burst. Silence. Immediate trick out of Jay. Does go for yet another grip. Does he have some grippy hand? No, he doesn't. Jay actually was able to avoid this. Grippy hand is up and available. Could go for a proper stone with the Riders. Does get the Riders. Big burst out of Jay. That altar. You got like no health there for a second. Block comes out. Oh, that is so much damage. That is a lot of damage. Leo with them Riders though, man. He's ready. He was ready for it. That's burst. It's kind of nutty. Hell yeah. Got himself shifting power. Is it going to be enough for it to shift the winds of this duel in your direction? In your favor? Is it going to be enough though is the question. As Jay tried to see if he can get himself a bit of a reposition here. Got himself the ring of, what is it? Ring of Frost. Try to see if he can block off Leah. Doesn't matter. He just still find himself positioned either way. Try to see if he can get himself a setup. That grip might have been a little early, wasn't it? Looks like it was a bit of a premature grip. You know, premature grips. What young man has not had a problem with the premature grips? You know what I mean? I'm gonna stop. Big grip does have a breath though. To counter it, turning the man into a little sitting duck out here. I don't think he got another grip for a while, do you? Leo's just gonna have to play defensively, drop it down dome. Does have another grip, blind to follow. And silence and everything is available. Immediate block for Jay. Being a Frost Mage does give you a second immunity. So as long as you can fight Leo out of the immunity, technically does have Remorseless. No, he has Riders to follow up the Remorseless. So that could be a lot of damage. Jay is not in a great spot. Altar can put him in a good position. He's just going to wait for the Altar. He's just going to wait for it. He knows he's going to be behind him. If he goes in for Riders and big burst damage, actually cancels that Altar. Does go for the stun either way with the grip immediately. Brad, but the Riders are still on you. Even though you got for a poly, that's still going to be a decent bit of damage that you won't be able to avoid. Definitely don't want to get hit by the DK, but those Riders on their own, they're just tearing up your health bar. Does go for the grip. Does not follow up with damage. Grippy hand is available. Maybe it'll auto grip. Got himself in a position. Silence to follow. Looking to end it. Trick it out for Jay. Needs one more global, one more hit. He got shields for a moment. Just needs one more hit. Oh, it does go in for the cleave. With Nesmerska last one left, or for the team one ready to go. Immediate first aid for Leo. He's actually giving him a chance to catch up a little bit of health. So the Rogue, let it be noted, the Rogue is an honorable gentleman. Rogue is an honorable one. He let him catch up the heal. He could have denied it. He could have sapped him. He could have shot a strike. He could have done anything there to stop it. So he did give him a chance. Big burst for Leo. Disarm, so at least you won't be able to use the damage of your obliterates, but still, just enough health. The Remorse is still doing a ton of damage. Vanish out for the Smurshka with the Cloak of Shadows, stopping some of the damage, but still has enough of visitors to take him out. Does go for the meld immediately versus Shiny before the Feral gets himself a proper opener. The Smurshka does not have a trinket, so he's kind of in the mercy of the Feral Droid. He basically has to get the opener and not let the Feral play the game at all. That's like the only way he could really make it work here, is try to make sure the Feral does not get the opener and then not let the Feral play at all. Feral picking up the eye, however, being very, very proactive, actually. That's really good of him. Blind, maybe the Feral will trinket randomly. This Smurshka is definitely trying to see if he can test the water. See, it does go for the trinket. Evasion is available. Try to see if he can deny some damage. Hopefully the bleeds do not connect. This Smurshka, as long as you don't give you the back towards the Feral Druid, you will be able to avoid a lot of the damage. It's going to be Ursus for a second. It's going to be a step immediately. Try to see if you can stay on. Shiny actually caught very, very low in health. Bash for a second. You don't have a trinket. Cyclone? Oh, Shiny will not be able to recover too much health. 60% dampen is going to make it harder. But he does not. No, he does get the opener. The Smurshka has cheat death, so maybe you just all in the Feral. Wall? You're just going to be a battle of damage. Stun? Is it enough though? Oh, he does take it. Oh, he does take it. And Wrestle help picking up 3-1. No, well done. That is some work right there. Alrighty, boys. Let's get us another one going here, yeah?